Still snowing. Oops. Still snowing from yesterday, which is beautiful. I used to never be a fan of the snow. Like, I'd be like, it's just cold and miserable. But over the years, I've kind of come to love it. It's kind of like, it's really nice having the snow. In an odd, roundabout way. Is it like, it quiets everything down, dude. Like, everything, like, muffles the world, which is how I perceive the world a lot of the times. Like, I can hear clearly, but to me, the world is a very quiet, peaceful, harmonious place. Really is a blessing. The one downside, I mean, it's not even really a downside. Dude, did I get gas? $2.69 again. The one quote-unquote downside that I could say, ooh, it's a little slick. Just because it's a little slick. I would like to have full control of my vehicle. So we're putting in 4. I don't need to necessarily go into 4, but I personally would rather have complete traction compared to partial traction. Yep, I see you sliding, bro. See you sliding. Yeah, it has become a very peaceful and enjoyable time. You know, to be out here and do the things that I do. I'm grateful for it, man. Like, this year, this life, this experience has been nothing but miraculous. And I left something that I didn't want to leave. It was just something that I knew I had to leave. And to the right people, that makes sense. To not so much the right people, not so much. But yeah, it was something that I had to do, that I needed to do. It wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do. It was just something that I knew that I had to do. We're gonna go to a different King Soopers. I need to pick up some stuff, some food this morning, so I can put it in the crock pot for the day and have it ready sometime later today. Yeah, and figure since I'm going on the drive, I might as well do this video right now. I was up at 4:44 this morning, which I was like, well, thank you for that, for one. And then the second part to that as well, then I woke up and meditated, I read. Maybe there's a bit of anxiety in me as well too, because it's just like, but that's the thing, dude. So like, I was journaling about this last night. I was writing about it last night. So the whole manifestation aspect of everything that we have going on right now is just all a direct reflection of our own internal state, and then it just happens to us on the outside with or without our control. Like, everything's just happening for us. So I had 2 different aspects where, one, and I've done this multiple times, multiple different times, and I always constantly test the law just to see, like, hey, is this real? Because, like, I mean, it's a law and it's a practice like anything else. Like, I go to the gym every day because I need to practice, or I go to yoga all the time because I need to practice. That's why I do uploads like every day, and why I make these videos every day is because practice makes perfect. And I would rather constantly show up every single day. I just like doing that. It seems a lot more enjoyable for me than not. So that's what I end up doing. And with the manifestation that I was writing down last night was, and I've shared this maybe a couple of times, but it's just, to me, this is one of the things that resonates and still sticks with me at this point in time, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for it. I'm also going a lot slower than everybody else is, but I'm probably have a little bit of still minor, like, I wouldn't say PTSD, but there's still that fear within my mind of what happened last time when I was like driving fast in the snow and then I crashed, and I was like, I didn't like that feeling. So I'm just like, I would rather be the dude that's going 10 under than the dude that's going like 15 over, especially with this type of stuff where it's just like, it's slick, I already know that. So I'm like, I'd rather just, you know, keep it chill and not have to stress. So I mean, this one's probably gonna change, but I might be able to make it. Yeah, I'm making that. I won't be able to stop for that. And like, I don't know how slick any of this is, so just keeping it chill. The thing that I was journaling about last night, so like I say that I manifested, like, which I did that one. I put in work to be able to have that manifestation happen, where then there was the other one where I didn't, and it was completely out of my control. So like, this is where I'm like torn, in 988.22 on my odometer right now. This is where it's just like, there's that, I wouldn't say it's a torn aspect per se, but it's just one of those things where sometimes it's like, yes, I do have to work, other times like I don't have to work, because when I ended up getting to the place to where I wanted to be, like, do something that I had never seen beforehand, and I had multiple different ones where I was like, all right, you know what, we're gonna do, and they all happen at actually different times as well too. Like, they all took place over a different period of time. Like, they didn't all happen at once when I went out there to do that said manifestation. So that's pretty neat. Cool. So one of them was me wanting to get like everybody together. I thought it was gonna be for my birthday, but I was like, I want to get a big group of people together, and then once I get everybody together, just go alone by myself. I didn't know how it was gonna happen. I didn't know what way it was gonna happen, but I just knew that that was something that I wanted to do. So that was the thing that I ended up doing, and that was a pretty neat, worthwhile experience. I just don't know where people go in the snow. The snow's always a little, just, it's extra, and I'm going on an extra long drive today to be able to make the video, which is not my forte, but it's the thing that I figure I'll do. So like, with the work that I did, like, yes, I did manifest the belt because I had other people come in and be like, hey, we have this problem that we need, and we need your help to be able to do this. And then I was like, oh, hey, awesome. And then I got a very big check, like, for me being able to solve that problem for the person that I've been reaching out to for a very long time. So I was like, awesome, this is great. And it took that time for me to be able to do that, and then I got the belt and I won the competition. And the other time where like I didn't have to do anything, and I didn't have to do anything in that situation either, other than just show up, it was the exact same thing for when I wanted to get everybody together for this party, that like I was gonna go sit alone, and I didn't know how it was gonna happen, I didn't know where it was gonna happen, I don't know when it was gonna happen. I was just like, I'm just gonna let this 369 on that license plate, let's go, baby. I was just like, I'm just gonna let this happen in the ways that it needs to happen, and that's exactly what did happen. And that's why, like, after it happened, I was like, oh, okay, so all of this is real, and I can create anything that I want to create. And I was like, okay, well, this is a fascinating concept that I did not know existed in the first place. And ever since I learned about that, I was like, well, now all I want to do is I just want to experience this said concept, because I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, I was blind and now I can finally see. So I was like, all I want to do is just be able to see more and more and more than I'd ever seen beforehand, which is exactly what I ended up doing over this year. And why I was so, like, why I said at the beginning, it's just like, it wasn't something that I wanted to do, it was something that I had to do. Like, obviously, yes, I would have loved to have stayed working where I was, but also at the same time, I was like, I need to figure this out, dude, because like, if this is real and this is exactly how the reality works, then I can have quite literally anything that I want. And I've wanted to do the YouTube, and I obviously am still creating content, as you can see. Like, I still talk to the camera every day, I still make a video, I still post every day. I don't look at the analytics or anything along those lines, which maybe that's a downfall for me, because like when I was doing the sales, and I would always like analyze like my own conversations or other people's conversations and be like, oh, what is this person doing that I can do? And I've tried doing that with YouTube content as well too, where it's just like, oh, this person, like, this video is like doing well, they're doing something similar to me, so I'm like, let's just copy what they did and just like make a small little adjustment, which is great. And I do that, and I make those small little changes, and then it just doesn't get the same amount of traction as that other person did. And I was like, what is the cause for this? Why is this happening? I don't know. I've yet to figure it out. So that's why I'm just like, I'm just gonna make videos for the sake of me making videos and me sharing the ideas and the thoughts that I want, and not care about the how of how things are gonna work. Just like I didn't care about the how of how I was gonna get everybody together and then be all alone, which was something that I myself would never do. And that's why it baffled me so much, was because I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't have to do anything. Like, I was the one that did it, because like, I've said this before, I'll say it again, like, we're all just one. Like, everything and everybody is the exact same. everything is just consciousness. We're just all separated into our own individual droplets. Instead, when we could all be in a ocean together. And that's why like certain people and others resonate with other people, because they're part of that same pond or ocean that other people aren't a part of. So like those droplets come together to be able to form a whole ocean, compared to like if you aren't a part of that, then you aren't going to have that said ocean in your repertoire. I need to move over, dude. So with that, it's kind of just like, I also just want to ride my bike a lot this past year and walk and just kind of explore these different ideas, different concepts. And I know that the only time that there ever is the present moment. So I'm trying to be more in tune with that. I mean, as I always have been. And then so also remembering that like the past is like malleable just as much as the future is malleable. I don't know how icy this is gonna be. So that's why when I say like none of this stuff or everything that I've done has all just been my own internal like state of another 369 has always been my internal state of where I'm wanting to go and the things that I'm wanting to do. And that's why like I didn't have any control or any rhyme or reason under the other concept when I decided to create like the opportunity for me to be alone, or for me to be able to create like the opportunity for me to go like on a camping trip. Are you going to go on a camping trip, like get a truck, have a pop-up tent camper, and like go on that whole expedition? I had no idea how that was gonna happen, and then like it did, just like everything else has ever happened. Once I see it, then it happens. And that's where an aspect of me is just like, well then what is taking YouTube so long? Like why hasn't YouTube worked? Why doesn't the views happen? Like where is this happening? Because it's just like there's been so many of these other things that are completely out of my control. And then I'm like, well maybe it's because I'm too focused on the specific outcome of having this said thing happen. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to do something else. I'm just like, I'm going where I need to go on the given days, which yes, it's wonderful, and yes, it's great, and I know that this is how it's meant to be, and I'm ready to receive like the monetary compensation, because dude, I've put in the work, I have put in the work, more work than I had ever imagined myself to put in. And that's where I'm just like, I want the monetary compensation now, bro. Like I have the feeling, I understand the emotions, I can still function now after having an emotional like experience in some way, shape, or form. So I'm just like, I would like to have more, like, I'm always serving, I'm always being of service in the best way possible. Like this video is hopefully maybe inspiring somebody, or it's just me just riffing off some experience and being like, oh, okay, like this stuff is real. Like I can try something that I've never tried before, and then I can go somewhere, and then I can be like, well, like why is your video the way that it is? Like why is it the length that it is? Or why is it like, why doesn't it have the views that it does? And it's just like, that's what I've been trying to figure that out. Ooh, I do not like, hold on. I don't know how icy this is, bro. So I'm like, I would rather stop like at 100 feet back than have any sort of accident. I did not like that. That was a very, that was a rough feeling right there. All right, we're good. But that's where I'm just like, I don't have to compete. And that's where, I guess it's more of a, like if everything's just happening in my head, which it is, like that's just a fact. I know that now. That dude is flying, bro. That's why when like I look at these other people's channels and I'm just like, bro, like I'm doing the same thing as you. And that's why I've just stopped comparing myself to the other channels, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna make what I want to make, and I'm gonna share the thoughts and ideas that come off the top of my head. Because regardless of like when I'm watching somebody, I'm not watching somebody, it's just like I don't know how it's gonna happen, just like I didn't know how I was gonna get everybody together and be all alone. Like I don't know how the things are going to happen. I just know that they will. It's having that unwavering faith in the said thing. And then I keep saying, well, I do need to pay my bills, which I do. Like, I need an income, bro. Like, that is something that I do need. And I have. It's not that that's the tough part with this whole thing, is like, I have it. I do. It's already mine. Like, it's already in my possession. So that's why when I'm just like, I'm creating, I'm doing, like, I'm putting in the work every day. I'm making videos, I'm sharing content. Maybe it's not to the right audience. I don't know. Because I'm also under the impression that, like, everything is within ourselves. Like, we don't have to look outside of ourselves. Like, yes, it's good to look outside of ourselves, like, to gain new information. But it's also like, it's just me talking to me and giving myself this different information that I have, which is a trip within itself. But it's also a very fun experience as well, too. So I'm doing what I can. Ooh, Tesla. That does not look good. You're good, though. I came to the farther grocery store in the snow. I don't like driving in the snow because I wanted to face the fear of mine of, like, you know what, I can leave the house and I can go further even if the roads aren't ideal. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna go grab some stuff, making chili, then have yoga later tonight, which will be fun. Will be fun. Alright, mate. Love you. Do what you want to do. Make the most out of every opportunity. Just keep moving forward, dude. The mesh.